straight into the thick of it. If you have your sights set on a Tesla Model Y or even a Tesla Model 3, but your temptation is making you hold off until the rumoured Project Juniper Model Y, aka the refreshed Tesla Model Y, becomes a reality, well, you could be about to make a mistake by pushing back your purchase. So why is that, Adam? Well, I calculated those risks myself before I actually punched the buy button on my brand new 2024 Tesla Model Y. So I've been through this exact thought process myself. Therefore, if you saw the newly leaked prototype leaked on social media platforms recently and thought now it's time to double down on waiting for it, I've highlighted 5 key points that waiting could be the wrong decision for you. For real, I'm not naive to the fact that the refreshed Model Y will be the better car. It 100% will be. And that's just based on the Model 3 jump from late last year. But frankly, you could be blinded by hype and miss the opportunity that's right in front of you. That is this bad boy right here. Well, not this one, because this one's mine. Yes, it's very funny, Adam. So I've collected 5 key reasons why you should buy a Model Y today over the refreshed Tesla Model Y. But before I kickstart the video, I appreciate it if you could just hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I've got loads of brand new Tesla Model Y content coming up. Let's get into today's video. So reason number 1. If having the latest and greatest hardware is a key driving factor of waiting out for a new model, if Tesla's immediate future is full self-driving as Father Elon keeps telling us, then that new Model Y must have at least hardware 4 cameras as well as the hardware 4 FSD computer. Can you guess what's in every new 2024 Tesla Model Y that rolls out the production line today? Yep, that's right, hardware 4 cameras and the hardware 4 FSD computer. And if you think Tesla will release hardware 5, Elon said that this was going to be 2 years away before that was making it to production. So that leaves you in the position of A, it will have the same FSD suite as today, or B, the refreshed Model Y, it's going to be 24 months before hardware 5 is available. So that could be a long time. The only difference they could incorporate is potentially a new front bumper camera. This was initially shown and then retracted on the refreshed Model 3 configurator, and it's even on the leaked prototype shot I showed earlier. However, this is already available on the Cybertruck, but that said, that camera is yet to be fully utilized. Plus, it's not even essential to achieve full self-driving, for which this hardware 4 is already touted as being 4 times more powerful than hardware 3, which should be more than capable. It's known that hardware 3 is yet to be maximized to its full capacity as well, so hardware 4 must have so much more power to tap into. Therefore, whether you believe if Tesla is going to solve full autonomy in 2024, 2025, 2026, this hardware today should be more than capable as per Elon's comments on its ability. There's next to no chance of hardware 5 being released earlier than Elon's recent timescale of 2 years, plus we don't even know if a new bumper camera will make its way to the Model Y. It never did with the Model 3 refresh, despite all its leaks. Reason number 2. The new Tesla Model Y will have a new battery and thus a larger range boost. Being completely fair, I 100% expect a new Model Y to deliver more range, which is a good thing, but it's not always as simple of a win. So for example, the Model 3 refresh did see a boost to its range, however this came exclusively from changes beyond the battery, such as aero and weight savings. That said, in the US, comparing the legacy 2023 Model 3 to the new 2024 Model 3, the EPA ratings are exactly the same. However, if you delve into some of the finer details of that, the EPA testing actually got stricter on Tesla, which probably masks the minor jump up here. In UK, that figure was shown to be over 5% range boost. So applying a 5% more range, whilst useful in long trips, how often will you actually get down to that final 5% each week? The reality is probably less than you think you will. And that's the point. More range is useful 100%. It's undeniable. But vehicles today deliver more than enough range for the average Joe. And the likelihood of a small bump, whilst it is useful, it won't be game changing that you actually tap into that extra range every day unless there is a totally new battery. But at what cost? So let's speculate that Tesla does introduce a new battery, which then leads to, say, a 10 to 15% bump in range, which is going to be pretty significant. As this would then be a new battery supply, does that then cost more than the batteries it receives today, for which then makes the new versions more expensive? A 15% bump in range effectively then makes our rear-wheel drive Model Y be a long-range Model Y in range terms, for which is it then worth Tesla just bidding off the long-range variant and having just a rear-wheel drive and a performance variant, or bidding off the rear-wheel drive variant for just a dual-motor long-range and performance variant? Or do they simply just play around with pricing if they can achieve greater mileage? Whatever they decide to do, more range will be the goal, and it will likely be achieved by Tesla by one way or the other. However, waiting creates speculation, and that creates uncertainty on pricing and then the vehicle lineup. But remember, certainly on price, lineup, and awesome range, that can be achieved today. The third reason is one that will bother a lot of people. For me, it's absolutely a nothing burger, to the point where I didn't even consider it for my own purchase. And this is going to be Stalk-gate. A new Tesla Model Y today is currently the only Tesla that you can buy that has stalks for shifting into gear and indicating. Whereas the Model S, X and 3, they have the auto shift function for drive and reverse, in addition to the indicator buttons on the steering wheel. Now, I've witnessed some of you in the comments that fear the hell out of indicators and how it's extremely dangerous not to have stalks. Now, my opinion on this doesn't matter. It's not going to shift you either way. Your mind is probably made up. But what I am going to do is point out the exceedingly obvious if you haven't worked it out. The refreshed Model Y is likely to be stalkless, just like the Model 3, S and X. Therefore, if you feel passionate enough that you do not want to go stalkless, then the Model Y today is an absolutely no-brainer of a choice. If you hold out for the refreshed Model Y and then you're then surprised it doesn't have stalks, you've been warned well in advance that it's likely that that's going to happen. The fourth reason is an ugly truth that makes sense, but you probably don't want to hear it. All around the globe, Tesla was tinkering with price cuts in 2023. That has now stabilized, but the demand lever that Tesla is using is now relating to low finance rates. And in the US last quarter, it went as low as 0.5%. And here in the UK, it's an absolutely stellar 0% APR. And I don't recall it ever being that cheap to ever finance a new Model 3 or Model Y simultaneously, ever. But these rates, they're not going to last forever. And here's the bit that you don't want to hear. The new Tesla Model Y that you want to hold out for, not only is there no guarantee the price will be cheaper or the same, it could cost more. Then the likelihood of them offering 0% APR from the get-go is likely to be extremely low, as demand for the vehicle will be high and Tesla will rightly want to capitalize on that, particularly because production will start small and it will take a good few months for Tesla to actually produce enough to match to the orders received. Therefore, if you haven't worked it out, it's likely to be more expensive, and by that I mean at the very least to finance the vehicle. In the UK, the new Model 3 as a cash price, it was cheaper when it first came out, but the APR rate was 9% APR, which most consumers do actually finance the vehicle to fulfill their purchase. So with higher interest rates, it will be more expensive as a result. Also, depending on how early you order it, with high demand, there is no guarantee that you will actually get it delivered within the same quarter. Low APR rates are always going to be temporary demand lever that Tesla uses, so don't expect it to continue for the foreseeable future. So the final point is going to be widely subjective, and frankly, I'd love to hear your opinion on it. So I'm just going to go out and say it. Beyond range, what are you actually looking to gain with a upgraded Tesla Model Y? And I have no doubts it's going to be better in pretty much almost every area, but will it be night and day better? Rear screen, okay, that's a massive win, and I actually wish I had that today. But beyond that, seat comfort. These seats in the Made in Germany Model Y, they're incredibly supportive and actually much better than my older Model 3. And let's not forget, Tesla has been upgrading the Model Y bit by bit since its release. Cabin noise, again, Tesla have been making massive inroads bit by bit. For many reasons I explained in a previous video, this Model Y is actually noticeably quieter than my Model 3, and I actually did a sound meter test to prove it. Ventilated seats, again, I can't compete with that. But then again, here in not so sunny England, and you can clearly see it's not so sunny, I'd probably have wanted to turn it on maybe 3 or 4 times this year so far. Summer has literally just been non-existent here in England. Therefore, this would have been a benefit that some people will actually benefit more from than others. Interior lighting too, whilst this looks cool, it's not entirely game-changing and a must-have feature, is it? Therefore, as I said before, the upgraded Model Y will be better, but this Model Y isn't the same as when it was first released in 2020. Bit by bit, month by month, this car has actually addressed its weaknesses, from cabin noise to comfort to ride quality. Even has the latest FSD hardware suite now. So it's nowhere near the same car as it would have been when it was first released in 2020. So to conclude, I know it's incredibly tempting to hold out for a refreshed Tesla Model Y, but this 2024 Tesla Model Y that you can buy today with low rates, even 0% APR here in the UK, and that's time limited by the way. This Tesla Model Y today is fantastic value for money, and it's future-proofed with the hardware 4 suite, so you won't be let down in a full autonomy future should that then plan out. If you're looking for a Model Y in the first place, I assume that's probably for practicality and it's family driven, for which the Model Y already offers tremendous passenger space and storage. It's hard to imagine if they can actually dramatically expand on that, and if so, how much more do you seriously need? And if you had any concerns about a new Model Y today, you should know that Tesla has chipped away at improvements all over the vehicle, and it's literally the best Model Y that you can buy. There is no need to gamble on pricing for a new Model Y, for which we don't even have a release window yet. Elon had mentioned it definitely isn't coming out this year, but that doesn't mean that it's early 2025 either. And people forget that the Model 3 was released back in, 2018, and it didn't get a full refresh until late 2023 to 2024 for the US. So based on that, it could well be late 2025 or 2026, and that's like 18 to 24 months away. Plus, we know nothing on pricing, with chances of low finance rates being near zero. It's going to take some patience and gambling before you can actually pick up this upgraded Tesla Model Y. And I have no concerns that it is going to be better, and for me, it was crucially at what cost will it be better? Were the upgrades going to be night and day to pass up paying the same monthly payment as my old 2021 Tesla Model 3? And the answer to that is no. So I secured the deal today, and I can safely watch the refreshed Tesla Model Y announcement whenever that does happen, and then I can seriously consider it when it's then baked in its own bit by bit improvements, for which should hopefully make a more considerable jump than the rumours today, including it having the hardware 5 FSD suite by then maybe too. Who knows? So how was today's video? Was I wildly off the mark, or was it reassuring to hear this opinion? Don't hold back, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and share it with your friends and anyone else that may find it beneficial. You folks have been great, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.